my true love by the stars above. Only true love will each and every day live its own true way. Only my love is patient, my love is kind, my love is endless, my love is blind, my true love by the stars above. Only true love those trophies of these games are misconstrued. Far better is a love that is maturing, overflowing at the springs returning. Time passes quickly for a season, even so gifts are lovely for a reason. Like a seed of grain beneath the harvest moon, or a baby crying softly in a room. The summer sun of all of fire burning, is it only a cog in a wheel that keeps on turning? And tides and sifting of these mysteries provides one endless struggle to those undiscerning. Are they only a cog in a wheel that keeps on turning? Those trophies of these games are misconstrued. Far better is a love that is maturing, overflowing at the springs returning. Time passes quickly for us, even so gifts are lovely for a reason. A seed of grain beneath the harvest moon, or a baby crying softly in a room. The summer sun of all of fire burning, and treat me not to ever leave you. Please don't ask me to depart from your side. Wherever you will go, I will go also. And where you live, it is there I will abide. Your friends will be my friends, and your family will be mine. And what you deem as highest will be my treasure sublime. And where you die, my darling, there will I die, and there will I be buried by your side. God bless this union, side by side. Whatever good or woe that time betide, whatever the good or woe that time betide, whatever the good or woe that time betide. Now I lay thee down to bed. Rest, dear child, thy weary head. God in his wisdom gave the moon to bathe thy sweet sleep's warm cocoon. Thy guardian angels standing by, no misty midnight's deepened sky can turn their thoughts or blind their eyes. They're charged to keep, oh child of mine. Sleepiness is in your eyes. Slumber through the eventides. When morning breaks, the promise waits. Lullaby, my child. Lullaby, my baby. Lullaby and good night. When I was a little boy, my mama would care for me. But when I became a strapping man, I embarked on my destiny. Adventure became my daily bread. Endurance was my prayer. I learned to succeed with truthful words and taking the steepest dare. I became a foot soldier of love, a foot soldier of love. Recently graduated to the place a little above. Along the highways and byways, through in and throughout, in the campfire's glow of endless campaign, my soul is turned inside out. I have met the enemy, and he is us. I should have been killed 10,000 times, but I never forsook my trust. Stung with epithets and clods of earth, I was treated with mistrust. And in my darkest hour, when all hope was lost, I became a foot soldier of love, a foot soldier of love. Recently graduated to the place a little above. Well, I used to work in Hollywood. Hollyweird. Tinseltown. That vast mecca of American show business. I did stage lighting for television, motion pictures, and live stage productions, some of them not all that much different from this one. And hey, whoa, take it easy. I was nobody special, just a grunt. I would have to work under a lighting director, and it was the 80s, and the pay was good. Now, even though I didn't have any aspirations to be an actor or anything, but even back then, I knew I would eventually be doing something like this. So yes, in that sense, I was apprenticing to the craft. And I have advisors, and they've been on my case. I keep telling them, no, they don't want to hear about, special, things in my. They said, no, that's a big part of your life, John. You have to tell them some of the stuff that you did. So here it goes. Yeah, okay. I did the Oscars one year at the Shriners Auditorium, and a lot of work for the Hollywood Bowl. Now, across the valley in Hollywood, on the other side of the valley, is the Greek Theater, where they put on plays like Shakespeare and things like that. And of course, I worked on every big sound stage in Hollywood: MGM, Paramount, the Burbank Studios, which used to be Jack Warner's old lot, Disney, Hal Roach Studios, which was where they shot all those Our Gang, and it just became more, advanced and sophisticated. And also A&M Records and Tapes over on La Brea with Herb Alpert and the Chaplin stage where Charles Chaplin started his career. And there I did quite a lot of rock videos. It was the 80s, and man, I did a lot of rock videos over there. Shot many episodes of Soul Train. Now, Soul Train, that was a really big deal for lighting. So those were 22-hour days, and they would shoot several, about 3 to 4, if they could, in a day. They were 22-hour days. Episodes of Soul Train, because there was all this lighting technique going on and everything else. But my bread and butter back then, the main thing that I did was Merv Griffin, all those game shows. And so Merv Griffin Productions was my bread and butter. Now, I believe at this late date that the reason why I got, and there was many other, I did a Long Beach Arena big show for Blue Oyster Cult, other things that just, it takes up too much time. But I believe the reason why I got so much work is because back in those days, I had grown a profundo gigundo beard. Now, this was no small beard, okay? In those days, I was just in my earliest 30s, and I had what I called the Black Forest to face every single morning. If I shaved at 5:30 a.m., by 12 noon, I had a 5 o'clock shadow. And if I was going out that night, well, I had to shave a third time. So it was really a pain in the you-know-what. And one day I just decided, I said, oh, let's just let it grow, see what I get, okay? Now, this is what, every guy, if you've ever seen this, every guy, this is what happens. 6 weeks later, I had the biggest scraggly looking mess on my face. It looked awful. It was all bristly and going in all different directions. It looked like the bottom of those floor polishers that the janitors use with those little pads, those little. It looked terrible, But 16 weeks later, and I looked like a college professor, very very noble and very elegant looking, Now, 26 weeks later, I looked like a Civil War general. And 56 weeks later, I looked like a cross between that cartoon character, Yosemite Sam, and freaking Moses. It was so long, I could tuck it into my belt. It looked like a half of a giant-sized truck tire. Like, this big. Had grown out of my face, all bristly, and I combed it and everything, but it was still just, and a gigantic handlebar mustache. Now, I never waxed it. If I had, you could have hung kitchen utensils on it. The slotted spoon over here, the barbecue flippers over here, one of those tongs on this side, maybe a colander. It was huge. So I'm standing around on one of those endless game show sets with Merv Griffin one day, and this guy walks over to me and says, "Hey, John, the director wants to see you." And I'm like, yeah, okay. I tell him I'll be right there. And I wonder, what the heck could he want? That job wasn't all that hard, So I goes over to him and I says, what is it? And this is what happened, okay? This is my big Hollywood audition. He says, "Oh, John," he says. And he reaches into his shirt pocket and he takes out one of his business cards. He starts writing on it. And this is what he says. He says, "John, I'm not casting, but a friend of mine is. He's making one of those prehistoric movies. You should try out." So I takes his card and I dials the number and I make all the arrangements. I get on over there. I get shown through a door into this big, long, empty room that's got nothing else in it except a desk at the end where sits Herr Director. And he's crying. He's going, and I'm standing there with my gigundo profundo beard, really this big, right? My long hair in a ponytail, crummy old t-shirt, a pair of ratty old jeans, my work boots. And he looks up and sees me. This is exactly what happens. This is what he says. He says, don't say a word. Just act. You are the chieftain of prehistoric tribe. Be a caveman. Go. And I'm standing there. Hunger. Hunger. Mahakalui. Mahakalui Makawe. Hunger. Pada. Pada Mahakalui Makawe. Hunger. Ha. Whoa. Padawanda. Mahakalui Makawe. Niki, Niki. Tiki, Tiki. Come here. And with that, hair director says, that'll be enough. Thank you very much. There's the door. And he goes back to crying. And I go back to hanging lighting on pipes over at Merv Griffin Productions. Later on, the beard came off. That's a different story at a different time. I became a clean-shaven man again instead of looking like a Cro-Magnon troglodyte. And I did see the film later on TV. It was like years and years later. And the guy who won the role as the lead there was obviously far more qualified. Well, good evening and welcome to tonight's show. I'm your featured soloist. My name is John Wilcox. And I know many other artists have what they call their solo careers, with backup vocalists singing the doo-wah dip dip while someone's on bass, with a drummer and keyboards. Then you have the percussion section with horns, lead guitarist, rhythm guitarist. Finally, I have a whole symphony orchestra with timpani and violins. Call that solo, do you? Meanwhile, here am I, up here, not so much as a kid to help me turn the pages. And no, this is not a cappella. And yes, I do have accompaniment, this here guitar. Don't knock it, she's a real plain Jane, but she's got it where it counts. Excuse me while I set up. For an instrumental. Yeah, I drink liquid rust for breakfast. Mix it in with gasoline. Then I chew on old men's bones for lunch, baby. Yeah, I grease them down with Vaseline. And what I eat's for dinner, whoa, bounces around like a trampoline. I got a junk food diet, baby. Whoa, worst case I've ever seen. Yeah, it's worse than sugar, baby. It's worse than caffeine. It's even worse than smoking, baby. 10 times worse than nicotine. It's those polytriglycerides and that BHT. I got a junk food diet, baby. Whoa, worst case I've ever seen. I tried to kick him more than once or twice, baby. I just could not get free. And then I had me a blood sugar crisis, baby. In the end, it nearly took me. Then came my hour of decision. I had them junk food diet, heebie-weebie, heebie-jeebies. Oh, yeah. I got a junk food diet, baby. Whoa, worst case I've ever seen. Just a half a mile north of the border, lived a humble little gal with tired feet taking orders. Every day of her life passed by in solitude and grace, as the sun went down and rose again in that place. Now destiny was playing cards with his buddy Fortune, lost at a hand, exceeding table stakes. And the powers that be cut a deal with Lady Luck and fate, that Fortune must pay every penny that destiny takes. Oh, the powers that be, they're watching over you and me. Still got a trick up their sleeve, if we only believe. That very day a man appeared in the doorway of that little cafe, and she greeted him with courtesy and faith. When he looked in her eyes, he said, "Darling, I've come to take you away from this place." When she asked him his name, he replied, "Just call me Ace." Watching over you and me, still got a trick up their sleeve, if we only believe. 20 years have gone by, and she has never regretted a second. My, how everything changed from the moment adventure beckoned. throne. She is simply known as the face. Whoa, the powers that be, they're watching over you and me. Still gotta kick up their sleeve if we only believe. Now in a little cafe just a half a mile north of the border, at a quiet little table in a dusty, darkened corner, page stealing cards, Lady Luck is looking over his shoulder, and fortune must pay every penny that destiny takes. Yes, fortune must pay every penny that destiny takes. Comes a time for life to be renewed. Those trophies of these games are misconstrued. Though death defies the holy and the brave, these children of this earth will have their day. Time passes quickly for us, even sophists are lovely for a reason, like a seed of green beneath the harvest, or a baby crying softly. Summer sun, a ball of fire burning. Is it only caught in a wheel that keeps on This dream is not just one man's vision. This hope is not a dream alone. My land is known as everybody's country. My hands are free, work make what's mine my own. My words cannot be kept unspoken. My heart is mine and mine alone. My mind is If a man were to give all he possessed for love, it could never, ever be enough. For love is stronger than the grave, my love. Love's flames are raging flames of burning fire. Set love as a flame to your heart, dear one. Set love as a jewel upon your arm. All the mighty rivers cannot quench love's flame, ne'er all the flooding rains may quench love's fire. Love's flickering, awesome flame, heavenly fire. Set love as a flame to your hearts, dear ones. Set love as a jewel upon your arms. All the mighty rivers cannot quench love's flames, ne'er all the flooding rains may quench love's fire. Love's flickering, awesome flame, heavenly fire.